Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to do another tag. Today I'm going to do the eyeshadow palette tag. So I have all these eyeshadow palettes here, and I'm going to go through. It's just a series of questions, and I'm going to go through and tell you all about my eyeshadow palette collection. So the first question, I have them written down on like a little notebook here because I use my phone to film my videos. So the first question is to show your newest palette, and it's actually two palettes. I got the ColourPop collection, the summer's. She's got Solstice and the All Things Equinox palette. I got these when they came out at Ulta, which it looks like this. They're very pretty. It gives you a nice, I think this is great for every day because it gives you like a little nice summery spring look. It's just a light wash of color, nothing too bright. But in the springtime, I love just a lighter color and a light wash of color on my eyes, not anything too much. But yep, this was my newest palettes. The next question was show your oldest palette, and this is the very first palette I ever bought myself, and it really got me into eyeshadow. So this is the Tarte, it's the Be a Mermaid palette. It does not have the name on it, but I think it's called the Be a Mermaid palette. And this is 99% mermaid. And it looks like this, and this. Oh, this was my all-time favorite palette when I got it. I used this so much. I'm sure I'm close to hitting pan on a few of these shades because I've used them just that much. So this is definitely my most used palette. Next, or my oldest palette. Not my most used, my oldest palette. I can't believe it's been that long. So it says show your most expensive palette. Let me get it out here. And I just got this recently too. I have the Natasha Denona Tropic palette. I got this recently. It is definitely my most expensive because it retails for $129. That is so expensive. I did not pay that because I did get this during the Sephora VIP sale. Plus, it went on the sale page for only $62. So I got it for $62 and then 20% off for that. So I definitely got it for cheaper, but it's definitely the one that costs the most. And it's a great, I'm going to open it up to show you. It's a great spring and summer palette too. This would make a great spring and summer look. So I was excited to have that one. Okay, now it says to show your most affordable makeup, and definitely my most affordable are these little e.l.f. bite-sized eyeshadow palettes. I love these. So far, I've only worn the hot jalapeno all day, and I'm wearing this one on my eyes right now, the Carnival Candy one. But when I wore the hot jalapeno one, at the end of the day, my eyeshadow still looked amazing. Like, these perform like high-end eyeshadows, and it's only $3. $3. And they're so great if you want to travel. You can take a couple of them with you so you have a couple different looks, and they don't take up no space at all. So I love these palettes, and they're definitely my most affordable ones. And it says to show your everyday palette. Now, really, I don't have an everyday palette because I try out so many different palettes for my channel. But if I did have an everyday palette, it would be the ColourPop It's All Good palette. And it's because it has just so many different shades, and these are just so me shades. It's got browns, it's got yellows, it's got pinks, it's got purples. It's got a little bit of everything. So I just think it's perfect for an everyday palette, and it's definitely the one I would probably use the most for everyday if I didn't have as much to go through for having a YouTube channel. The next is show your most colorful palette. My most colorful one is definitely my Midas Cosmetics Flower Bomb palette. This one is the most colorful one I own. It's the most like a rainbow palette. It's so pretty. I love the colors in here. It definitely creates a really pretty look and everything. And it works amazing on the eyes. Midas Cosmetics is a great indie brand. If you want to do indie brands, you should definitely check out Midas Cosmetics, because I haven't been disappointed with any of their shadows. I have this one, I have their Lemonade palette, and I have the Smoky Glow one, and all of them perform the same. They all have the same, I think it's the same formula for all of them, and they perform very well on your eyes, and they last all day long. So it's a great deal. Next, it's Show Your Smallest palette. I'm just going to go ahead and grab for the e.l.f. bite-sized shadows again. These are definitely my smallest ones. Everything. They only have 4 shades. I don't have anything else that has less than 4 shades. So these are definitely the smallest. And it says Show Your Biggest palette. This was a tie between 2 palettes. I couldn't decide which one was bigger. I have the Wet n Wild, the 40 palette. And this is the Morphe 39S, Such a Gem palette. So this one is the Wet n Wild, the 40 palette, and it looks like this. It has a lot of shades in it, a lot of shades. And this was such controversy when it came out, saying that it was a dupe of the James Charles palette, which it probably is. But I have to say, I've tried this and it performs so good. I don't think it's available anymore, but I love this palette. It has really good pigment. It really blends out really good, and it lasted on my eyes all day long without fading. So this was a really good, and I think I only paid $20 for this. So that was like a really good deal. And I have yet to try this one yet. I did get this one recently too, because they had a sale where it was only like 20 bucks. And then they have free shipping, so I got this one. But here's what this one looks like. This one is definitely my type of color story too. Pinks and purples, cool tones. Got some silver in there. I like it. Everything. I'm gonna plan on doing a video on this. Maybe a get ready with me using this sometime on my channel. So I can't wait for that. Show your palette with the best memory. I'm gonna bring it back to my mermaid one. This Tarte Mermaid one. I used this on my wedding day. This was my wedding day palette, so it definitely has the best memory, because it was just what I wanted. I wanted mauve pinks on my wedding day, so I did like the mauve pinks, and then I did this one and this one and this one, that one and that one and that one, and then I went on the eye, I think, with this one, and then I topped it with the Stila Glitter and Glow in Kitten Karma, and it was such a beautiful look for my wedding day. And I'll probably never get rid of this palette just because of that, because it's my very first palette I ever got, my first high-end one, and I used it on my wedding day, and it has such good memories. So this one will never get thrown out. It will always be in my collection. And it says, show the palette worth the hype. The palette I have that I think was worth the hype is the Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette. I bought this, I didn't even buy this the first Christmas it came out. I bought it the Christmas after that it was supposed to be limited edition, but nothing's limited edition anymore. But it was so hyped up about how good the formula is and everything, how good it performed, and it smells so good. But I have to say, it definitely is worth the hype. The shades do perform really good on the eyes. They blend well. There's definitely pigment, where sometimes Too Faced has a little bit of issues with pigment and blendability. But they last all day, and it works great on my eyes. So I definitely think that it was worth the hype for this one. And this says, show a palette not worth the hype. And I hate to do this, but this was the first one I've gotten, and I got it on sale, and I just didn't think there was anything special about it. And it was this is the Pat McGrath palette. This one is the Mothership Subliminal Platinum Bronze eye palette. It looks like this, and I just didn't think there was anything special about it. Nothing that was like, oh my god, you need to have this. Of course, then I hear it's because you need to get the big ones, because these little palettes here don't showcase the 4 special shades that Pat McGrath does. So I do want to try one of the big ones. They have the Divine Rose one. I want to try one of those just to see if the bigger ones are worth the hype, because this one was definitely not worth the hype for me. I didn't think the shimmer shades were not that shiny and beautiful in the eyes. The matte shades did good, but I didn't think it was that pigmented. Maybe that was just me, but I really had to build it up. But it just wasn't that, it was nothing special for me. That's all. It says, show your favorite palette from your favorite brand. So my favorite palette from my favorite brand, the ColourPop Good Sport palette. They don't have this anymore, sorry. But it looks like this. This is like the perfect fall palette. And this is probably my favorite palette of all time besides the mermaid one. It's this one. This just performs, every look you create looks amazing with this palette. It performs so good. I don't know, I just love the color story. I'm so glad I snagged this while they had it, because this was definitely worth it. It's definitely my favorite palette. And ColourPop will probably forever be my favorite brand, just because I love that they're so affordable. Their products are so good. They blend out so good. There's so much pigment. They last all day. I've never had any issues with ColourPop, so they'll always be my favorite brand, I'm sure. And definitely this will probably always be my favorite palette. I don't know if anything will top it for ColourPop for me, but we'll see. Maybe if they come out with a Halloween collection, that might top it. But we'll see. And then it says, show your most used palette. This is the last question. So I do have to say, I'm bringing out my mermaid again. It's definitely my most used palette. You can see here, put it this way. You can see here that I've definitely come close to hit and pan in a lot of shades. Like this one, definitely close to hit and pan in that one. And this one, I'm close to hit and pan. And this one, I'm close to hit and pan. And this one, I'm close to hit and pan. Basically, because this was the first high-end eyeshadow palette I got, I used this every day. So this at one point was my everyday palette too. And I don't know, I just loved all the looks I created with it. And I think you could get a good different variety of looks out of it. So, I don't know. I loved it. And it's definitely my most used. And I wanted to mention another one. I've been watching all about my eyeshadow palettes on YouTube. And I watched one by Zombie Girly. She did a really good one, and I just discovered her. And she added another one that I thought, she added an extra question. She was like, I don't know if you're supposed to, but she did it anyways. And I'm going to link her video down below. And she did the show your palette with the best packaging. She had that one, and I think that's a good question. So for mine, it's the Manny MUA Lunar Beauty Moonspell palette. I love the packaging on this. It just looks like a book. It feels like the weight of it feels like a book. And it doesn't hurt that the eyeshadows are gorgeous. Like, I love the eyeshadows are so good in this palette. He did a good job with this one. I love it. This is like what a Halloween release should be like. You have holiday makeup for Halloween, it should look like this. It should look like a spell book or something. I think it's so cute. I loved it. And I'm so glad I grabbed it on launch day. I got it. Because it was definitely worth the money. I did forget to mention at the beginning of this video that this tag was created by Samantha March and Ali Glines. So I will link their videos down below in my description box. Check it there, because I'm going to have their videos listed along with Zombie Girlies, since I added her question onto mine because I love that question. And yeah, that's all about my eyeshadow palettes. I guess you learned a little bit more about me today. And I guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!